What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching a Ragin Ronin review. I got a review for you. I checked out Train to Busan Peninsula, or rather, Train to Busan 2 Peninsula, or Peninsula Train to Busan, or Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. It's all very confusing, okay? Because a lot of people are watching this trailer. I saw the trailer, and I was thinking to myself, is this a sequel or is this a spin-off? Like, what is it? Because when I watched the trailer, I was just thinking to myself, this doesn't feel like the first one at all. But it's got the name in it. And that's the only reason why I wanted to watch this film. And Train to Busan was awesome. I freaking loved the first Train to Busan. I saw it in theaters. I thought it was so good, I decided to watch it again a few days later, and I brought my friends with me, and then they loved it. And then, so I was thinking to myself, okay, if it's anywhere like near as good as the first one, I definitely want to check it out. On top of that, I love Korean films. A lot of Korean films that I've seen are all very good. So they just know how to tell a good story. A lot of their filmmakers are just really great. You know, you got great actors. So altogether, you got these really great, memorable stories. And to top things off, it's one of the best zombie films I've ever seen also. I thought it was very unique to have a zombie film take place entirely in trains and train stations. So that's very, very cool. Anyway, so we got Train to Busan Presents Peninsula. And I guess it just takes place on a peninsula. But in any case, I wanted to watch this because of the branding. The Train to Busan brand. That's the only thing that was selling me on it, because like the trailer didn't do anything for me, to be completely honest. It just didn't look that great. But I'll go check it out, give it a shot. So I watched it, and I gotta say that this is probably one of the not so good Korean films that I've seen. And there are not that many, because a lot of the I've seen a lot of Korean films, and a lot of them are just really well-made films, okay? Like everything about them, the acting, the story, the direction, it's all very good. This one feels like a mishmash of Hollywood films, but in Korean, with Korean actors. And it takes place in Asia. That's all it is. It felt like, it's got like elements of World War Z, it's got elements of Walking Dead, it's got elements from Mad Max Fury Road. It just feels like it's a mishmash of American films, which are now in Korean. That's all it really is. It didn't feel like it had any cultural aspects of it. You know, Train to Busan worked because of what it is. It's about a train that's going to Busan, a city in Korea. And it would work only because this movie takes place in Korea. Like it just works better. There's like these cultural things about it that just make it better, and also with the characters being Korean. This one feels like this could have happened anywhere. It didn't even matter. This one just felt very, very lazy. And I feel like I've seen this movie before. I've seen it. It's just like those movies I mentioned. It's The Walking Dead. It's definitely got elements from Walking Dead. It's got action elements from Mad Max Fury Road, and it's definitely got zombie elements in World War Z, in the sense that they're running at you, and there's like so many running at you. This one, they made it less about the zombies. That's why I felt like this one feels more like Walking Dead. They made it less about the zombies. The zombies were merely a tool for this film, but it really is about the humans. Because in Walking Dead, you see that there's different human camps, right? You go to this camp, and then they don't like you, and they want to force you out, or they're scheming. You think they're friendly, but then they're actually bad guys. You know, there's a lot of those types of elements in this film, and I feel it's very tired out. It's kind of tiring. Like, we've seen this thing in so many seasons of Walking Dead that I don't even need to see this again in a feature-length film. Like, I've seen it in English, I don't need to see it in Korean. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's really unfortunate that they decided to sell this film on the Train to Busan brand, and it kind of ruins it. Train to Busan works on its own. Like, I get that it's connected in the sense that it takes place in the same universe as Train to Busan, but I love Train to Busan is so intimate. It's just so, it's such a personal story. You know, you have all these different stories going on at the same time, but every single one of those characters is likable. I never thought that I would like certain characters in that film, but I liked them all. I was connected and invested in all those characters. This one, you know, you have those main protagonists, but they don't give you enough about them for you to really like them. There's not enough there for me to really get that invested in it. And then it just feels like a kind of a mess, because it provides you elements borrowed elements from other things that you don't care about, and then once it goes there, once they bring you those elements, you just feel like I've seen this before, and it's kind of distracting me from the bigger story, which I don't care as much about. So that's really unfortunate. And yeah, like it opened really cool. I would have liked it if this film, like I'm not spoiling much. I'm just gonna tell you that like it starts off on a boat. Okay, it starts off on this big boat, like a cargo boat. Okay, like a ship. I would have liked the film had it taken place entirely on a cargo ship. Like that is basically the premise of Train to Busan, to have it take place in one place, a train and also train stations. But having it take place on a boat, the whole film, that would have been cool. It was kind of freaky, They were able to provide a that kind of same feel that the Train to Busan gave us, and then the movie just took place somewhere else. It introduced all these different elements, different but familiar elements, and then suddenly the movie, like I was just watching it based on like the fact that I paid for it, but I wasn't really enjoying it. So I will give it a 5.5 out of 10. I'll give it a 5.5 for effort. Okay, like they tried. Okay, I think there were some parts that I did like, but for the most part, they didn't live up to the standard of Train to Busan, and that's a very high bar. So it didn't even get very close. Like Train to Busan is right here, and then Peninsula is like right here. That's a really high bar for them to even come close to, and they didn't even come close. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 5.5, and I think I'm being generous for effort. Okay. So there you have it. Should you check this out? If you really want to. But it's definitely no Train to Busan, and there you have it. As always, if you enjoyed this review, you want to see more, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, The Ragin Nation, also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Peace.